Brad, we are in the dog days of summer. I can't help but think of all the poor kids that have been spending it at school. Did you ever have to go to summer school?
No, I never had to go to summer school, but I have had to work summer school before.
You had to
And
work.
yeah, and just to let you know, it is no longer called summer school. It is now ESY, extended
Yeah.
school year.
Why the change?
I think it's to sound, less degrading. I don't
Lester,
know.
I don't want to go to ESY. I mean, summer school sounds a little more fun than ESY.
Well, there's one thing that everyone will agree with about summer school is that no one ever wants to do it.
I will agree, but I don't mind watching it. So let's talk about a film by Carl Reiner, his 1987 comedy cult classic, Summer School. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the A Film by podcast. I am Jeff Johnson, and happy to say Brad Kozo is with me,
Never call me that. My name is Chainsaw,
as as in Black and Decker.
as in Texas Massacre.
It's good to have you back, Brad.
Yeah.
Uh,
And what a great fun movie to be on too.
yeah, this was your idea. Like we were, the thing I always love is sometimes you'll pick a director that I'm like, who, what? You love going after these classic directors, these older directors that maybe a lot of our listeners or newer generation doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But then you surprise me because the film you pick is always a phenomenal film,
Mm-hmm.
or it's a surprising one. Like when you said Carl Reiner, I was like, I what did he direct? And then you started giving me his lineup, and you're like, Summer School, man. Let's talk about Summer School. Good choice, Brad. I could not wait to discuss this one with you.
Well, I think I worked backwards on this one after like feeling like a certain films that we wanted to do, but sometimes we didn't know. And perhaps we were talking about the movie one day, and I was like, I want to look that up. And I couldn't believe that it was Carl Reiner because I would always confuse it with Summer Rental, which he
Yeah.
also directed. So I always, no, it wasn't Summer School, it was Summer Rental. And then I was like, nah, he did two movies called Summer School. So it just kind of like, it was a happy accident. It just kind of fell on your lap. I'm like, oh, wow, that's a perfect one.
Well, for those of us that haven't seen Summer School, Brad, what's it all about?
Okay. Summer School it is the last day of school at Oceanfront High School, and fun-loving PE teacher Mr. Shoop is counting down the seconds for school to finish so he can take off with his girlfriend to Hawaii for the summer. Unfortunately, the school's summer school remedial English teacher, played by Reiner himself, has just won the lottery and bails on his summer school assignment. When Mr. Shoop is given an ultimatum to either teach summer school or not have a job next year and must give up his summer to try to teach the misfits of Oceanfront High. Hilarity ensues. And I'm not being sarcastic at all. It really does.
No, this is one of those 80. I mean, the 80s gave us so many amazing teen comedies.
Yeah.
And some of them are lighthearted and some of them are kind of raunchy. This one hits that sweet spot because it gives you the comedy that you want. It pushes the envelope a little bit, because it's PG-13 and it's about as close to an R rating as you can get, I think.
Yeah.
There's a couple scenes and there's some themes where I'm like, wow, that surprised this wasn't rated R.
Yeah.
But it was 87, so you could still get away with some stuff, right?
Yeah. They got away with a lot. I mean, there's one F bomb in it, but
Yep.
but I think that's what makes it kind of stand out because during this time, everybody was kind of copying that John Hughes comedy with that really turnaround, dramatic moment. And this movie was just the fun part. It was just the hilarity all the way around. Still some heart, but you didn't go too deep into it.
Yeah. and even when you start to get a little dramatic in this movie, it's with a lighter touch, and maybe it shouldn't have a lighter touch.
And it
I
doesn't
know,
last long.
no, it doesn't last long, and I know there's some things that we probably are going to have to discuss about Mr. Shoop and his practices as a
Mhm.
teacher that maybe they definitely wouldn't fly today. I don't think they flew in 1987 either,
Yeah.
honestly. But I don't. Do you remember the first time you saw this? Was this? Did you go to
It
the
was
theater or was this
either
like
nah,
cable?
it
It was
was
cable
either
for me.
cable, it could have been a rental. It just was one of those that was on a lot, but every time it was on, it would crack me up. And even during this viewing, I was just trying. It still surprised me how many times I had to laugh.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this cast because
Mhm.
it's a fun cast. You mentioned just in your synopsis, Carl Reiner does this great cameo at the beginning.
Yeah.
School the kids are counting down to the final minutes of the last day of school. Carl Reiner playing Mr. Diradorian is sitting there.
Mhm.
He's got like a stack of scratchers, right?
Yeah. Which I always say you're never going to win with scratchers, but
Well, he did. Uh,
Mhm.
so here's I used to think about this. I understand it's 1950. I understand it's 1987. He wins $50,000 on a scratch off ticket,
I was
and then
thinking
he
about that
says,
too.
no, he goes up to Gills, the principal, and says, you know what this means? No summer school. Now here's what I'm wondering, because when I was younger, I thought you can't retire on $50,000. But I'm this recent time I watched it, I look at it like this, and you tell me what you think. So at the time of this movie, Carl Reiner's 65 years old. So
Yeah.
he's at retirement age. So I'm wondering, is his character working summer school because he's not ready to retire yet, and he gets the scratch off ticket, and there's his retirement, or is he working summer school because he needs the money, and now he's got 50 grand, so he doesn't need to work in summer school? Like, what's your take? Is he retiring, or is
I,
he just taking the
it,
summer off?
they don't really say it could be the first one, but if that character seems like he would have tenure, so
Yeah.
he wouldn't been, he could quit summer school and not be punished for it.
Okay.
So it could be, that extra money or, just thing. So yeah, it's either that or yeah, maybe it was just the last little bit he needed for retirement. And he's once he get 50,000, but yeah, it could, after I thought about it for a second, I was like, no, that actually could happen. That could
Yeah,
happen.
because 50 grand in 1987, that's probably, and again, depending on how long he's been in and, his tenure, I mean, that's maybe what, like a year and a half salary, 2 years salary for a
No,
teacher.
in 87, that's like probably like 5 year salary.
That's 5 years. Oh, wow.
Oh
Gosh.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's retiring, I think. I'm
Mhm.
betting he's retiring then. If he's
Yeah.
65, he's out,
Yeah.
Um, even though Gills warns him, I've seen men win millions and go right back to busting tables.
No, they didn't. No, they
They're freaking
didn't.
morons. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about 1986's Sexiest Man Alive, Mark Harmon, Mr. Shoop?
It's funny that originally I agree with this too. If I was casting this movie, I think I would have picked a comedic actor, like a
Yep.
main big comedic actor, but Carl Reiner saw something in this Ted Bundy movie that he did, like one of the first Ted Bundy like TV movies. And even watching it now, I mean, it still does really work. I mean, obviously people know Mark Harmon for NCIS for years and years and years, but I mean, he really pulls off this. I believe it when he's always like taking off his shoes because, or just like he does look like the kind of beach bum. But he doesn't overdo it. They could have gone real long hair, very surfer guy type of, almost like Spicoli talk. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't. And I think that going with that, I think really makes the movie work.
Yeah. You're talking about the Deliberate Stranger TV movie where he
Yeah.
played
Yeah.
convicted killer Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
I gotta wonder, Carl Reiner, he watches that and he goes, "This is my guy. This is Mr. Shoop." So that's kind of weird how he got from point A to point B there, but
Mm-hmm.
I digress. We also have the very lovely Christy Alley playing Robin Harris. Um, Now she had just come off of Star Trek II, Wrath of
Yeah.
Khan, playing Savik, and she had just taken over on Cheers, right? She like they had just
Yeah.
replaced
87
Diane.
is when she started Cheers. So this was a big year for her.
Big year for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she looks incredible. She's
Mm-hmm.
and she's a lot of fun in this movie. I think she is the perfect counterpoint to Shoop.
Yeah. Yes.
I
Yes.
love that. They
It's a good fit.
yeah, they do that. They have that goodwill, they won't they chemistry through the whole thing, because
Yeah.
you buy them as friends, but you also buy them as we want to get them together. So
Right.
I think she's fantastic in this. You got Robin Thomas playing Gills. I don't know him from anything else. Have you seen him anything?
I can't, he's, I believe, kind of like a character actor.
Okay.
I don't really know too much of his stuff.
Okay. Well, before we get to the kids, one last one we got to talk to, and I think this is a good segue because I guess she's an adult, but she's definitely a kid. Uh, Amy Stock playing Kim, Shoop's girlfriend, that's on her way to Hawaii with him.
Yeah.
And you know where we know her from.
I don't. She did look familiar, but I don't know who she's from.
Well, she is a very famous stepmom. Does that give you a hint? Does that help
Yes.
you out?
That's t- Ted, your mom, dude.
Yeah, Bill.
Or
She
Bill,
plays
your mom,
Missy.
dude.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
she's Missy from the Bill and Ted movies.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I'm thinking like, wait, is she Bill's stepmom or is she Ted's stepmom? And actually, she's
Right.
both because of the progression of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's again, I've seen Summer School, and then you see the Bill and Ted movies. You don't put it together, but then watching it again when she comes rushing into the gym, I was like, "Hi, Missy." I mean,
Yeah.
mom. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, she's all over the place in California. She's
Mm-hmm.
dating all the right guys, right?
Yep.
I assume that she goes to Hawaii, and maybe that's where she meets Mr. Esquire.
Could very well be.
Maybe
Yeah.
could be. All right, let's talk about the kids. Because you got some fun people here, and then you got some
Mm-hmm.
people that kind of blew up because of this movie. So let's talk first. Dean Cameron playing
Yep.
Chainsaw,
Yeah.
Francis Grimm. Don't ever call him that,
Right.
And one of my favorite from '86, Gary Riley playing Dave. So
Mm-hmm.
Chainsaw and Dave, like the quote unquote Siskel and Ebert of the film.
These two together really do work. They really do have a good chemistry together. And I think that's why I've liked the film for so long. I mean, in my opinion, they are the best part of this movie. I really love these two characters. They're always funny. They've got great banter together. They look like they have some good improv together. I love the stuff they're into. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
I think these are two underrated performance, couple together.
they definitely are. And I got you talk about their chemistry. I'm gonna blow your mind here later on when we're talking. I got some fun background on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you who could have been Chainsaw Dave. But
Oh
fun
boy.
fact for you, Dean Cameron, while they're looking for this movie to cast it, do you know what he's doing at this point in his career?
Ski school?
No, he gets ski school because of this movie,
Oh.
but he gets his foot in the door because, and you mentioned this already. You mentioned the character. He's busy playing Spicoli on the Fast Times at Ridgemont High TV show.
Ooh.
Could you imagine? Could you believe that? Like, Chainsaw is Spicoli on TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, I think. Another mega famous TV actress, or she became very famous for TV after this movie. Courtney Thorne Smith
Yeah.
playing surfer girl Pam.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with Pam? She's a little distant. She's
She's a surfer girl.
a
You,
surfer
you
girl, but
know,
where's
you
her
know,
parents, by the way?
it obviously that's a big question.
Yeah.
She gives the whole story of living with her brother, but Courtney Thorne Smith, I feel, has looked the exact same for like 20 to 30 years. Like she's looked like she could be, she says she's 16 in there, but you could definitely believe her is like 23, 25,
Oh yeah,
and I feel like she's looked like that forever. But I
she
think it was
doesn't
what,
age.
Melrose Place, right? That was
Yeah,
her.
she explodes in fame and popularity because of Melrose Place.
Mhm.
Um, grows up there, and then I guess what was it? According to Jim, where she played
Yeah, yeah.
Jim Belushi's wife. I know you love those TV shows where average looking, slightly heavy set guys have supermodel wives, Brad.
Yes.
So
And they play
that
them
was,
in between every commercial when you're trying to watch a NFL, football game.
yep, yeah. One of my favorites of this one, Kelly Jo Minter playing Denise.
Hmm.
I remember her from the Nightmare on Elm Street series, but she's fun in this one. I love. She's got some of the good lines too in the movie.
Yeah, I thought I feel like I've seen this girl in other stuff playing like this character almost.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was like The Principal, the movie with speaking of Jim
Oh,
Belushi.
Jim Belushi. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Shawnee Smith playing Rhonda? She's the pregnant student.
Yeah.
Goes on to I think it's fair to say she had quite a nice career in the horror film
Yeah.
genre. Most notably she plays Amanda in the Saw franchise.
Right.
But I know she's done quite a bit. So,
Hmm.
but that'd be her most famous one. And then I got a couple more here. I know we don't have time to talk about all of them,
Right.
but we would be wrong to not talk about the very lovely, very beautiful Fabiana Udinio, who plays Anna Maria Mazzarelli, the foreign exchange student.
Yes, and just to let you know, we are recording this podcast and Anna Marie's on it.
Yes. Oh, that's good. Oh man, fantastic cast, Brad.
Yes.
Um, I just love, like, going through the movie. So obviously Shoop gets kind of blackmailed. Vice Principal Gills blackmails him into being stuck to teach remedial English.
Right.
Meeting the class, I love the idea. It's almost like he's one of them.
Oh yeah.
Chancel's like, "Hey, Mr. Shoop, are you in this class too?" No, I'm teaching it. They're like,
Yeah.
"No way, party all the time."
And that's actually Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time. He's doing My Girl Wants
Yeah,
to Party. Yeah, I was like, he's singing the Eddie Murphy Party All the Time song.
Brad, I know you have worked you have a little bit of background in the education system. I
Mhm.
just You are Mr. Shoop to me. Like when I found out, like, yeah, you're gonna be in a classroom, I was like, Brad's gonna show up in his visor and his Hawaiian shirt, you know. He's gonna have his bagel.
Yeah. I'd
This
definitely
is
be the
this is
one. I'd definitely be the one to cuss in class.
Yeah, this is the teacher you want, right? If you're a kid, you want Mr. Shoop as your teacher.
Yeah, because it sounds like he's also the fun-loving PE, like I said, the fun-loving guy in PE. So they all know him. They know his
Yeah,
class is awesome. You can just fart around, but now he's stuck. These kids have to pass this, test, or he's not going to have a job.
yeah.
It's like, and he's stuck. But in his defense, what does he know about teaching these kids a remedial English test? That's pretty hard if you don't teach that specific test. So he
Well,
does have a pretty hard job.
he does, but he's definitely not qualified. He even tells
No,
Gills,
not
he's
at
like,
all.
"See, I ain't no English teacher.
Yeah.
See, double negative."
But then again, it's like, but you are, because you already caught yourself on double negative.
I just, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. He does catch himself there. So I just think it's hilarious the way it starts off. He does not know a thing about what to do or how to do it. And then he's all like, "Hey, you guys want to get out of here? Go to the library?"
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Yeah." That gets us to one of my favorite scenes. And I got to believe it's one of your favorite scenes. Chainsaw and Dave asking Anna Maria about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and giving their Siskel and Ebert review. Is this
Yes.
not one of the best scenes of the movie? I think.
I mean, when you combine that and when they actually view, Texas Massacre in
Yeah.
class, which would be the greatest assignment of all time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh,
I don't
it's
know. Have you ever gone up to a girl and you know that you found attractive and just said first thing is, have you ever seen the movie The Texas Chainsaw Massacre? It's not usually the best opening line, but hey, apparently works for Anna Maria.
it does, it does. Uh, and Shoop is just, you know, he. I love the fact that he asked the class. He's like, "Well, what can we do?" And
Yeah.
Rhonda's like, "We could go on some field trips." He's like, "Can we do that?"
Yeah, you don't know. I love that they
Chainsaw,
all have permission slips.
yeah, chainsaw. Yeah, I got permission slips right here. Let's talk about this for a minute, Brad.
Mhm.
They go kart racing. They go to the amusement park. They go to a petting zoo, and they go to the beach. So
Yeah.
go kart racing. I know those places are all over the place. You live out there, Brad. What is this amusement park? Are they
Knott's Berry Farm.
Knott's Berry Farm? Knott's Berry
Yeah.
Farm?
Yeah.
Okay. So the amusement park and the petting zoo are probably the same place then, or is
Yeah.
it
There's the one there. Yeah. All that stuff's there.
okay? Have you taken your students to Knott's Berry Farm, Brad? Is this why
Never,
you know so?
never,
I
never,
was gonna say
never. I
you
will
you seem to know a
never
lot
go
about
to
Knott's
a
Berry.
theme. No, no, I've gone there myself. It's fun.
Yeah, well that roller coaster that they call it the screwdriver.
Mhm.
That suspiciously looks like the vortex to me
Yeah.
from Kings Island.
Yeah.
Is it the same one?
I
You
have no
because you've
idea.
ridden both. Oh, you don't?
Yeah, but not in 1987.
Okay. All right. All right. Having a good time. And then we talked about Shoop maybe not having the best ideas, maybe not doing the right thing all the time. They're getting back on the school bus. Chainsaw and Dave are like, "Hey, next field trip, we got to go to the beach. We got to see Anna Maria in a bikini." He goes, "Guys, I understand." Like, I
Okay.
don't know about this, man. Like, you know,
I mean,
because
he said he was that age one time, so
yeah, because like when you're young watching this, like Shoop is your hero, but then as an
yeah.
adult, you're like, "Hey, man, that's not cool. Come on."
Hmm. Because the next scene they go to the beach.
Yeah, the very next scene. Well, I got some more on that here
Hmm.
coming up, but it's all fun and games until you get caught. And
Hmm.
Ekian's grandmother catches him, but you know the heat is on. Gills is going to fire Shoop
Right.
unless
That bite in the
he becomes a
ass.
model. Yeah, that bite in the ass. Unless he becomes a model teacher.
Right.
And Gills gives me the idea. Gills says, "All right, you get them all to pass. I'll forget about your field trips."
Hmm.
And then the whole movie takes its turn. These kids aren't about to sit down and learn without
Yeah.
getting something, right?
So yeah, they do a little negotiating. Not the worst idea for maybe a teacher that doesn't teach that, and doesn't want to do it himself, So I think him giving them what they call so-called wishes is not a
Yeah.
bad idea. Just some people take it a little too extreme, but it's okay
Well,
because this movie is ridiculously fun. So you have to enjoy the ride with this one.
you do. Now, some of them, noble, right?
Yes.
Denise needs some
The
driving
driving
lessons.
lessons. Yes.
He's a teacher. Good call. Kevin needs someone to work out with for football so
Hmm.
he can get back on the team. Mark Harmon, uh, I know he played football. I can't remember which school he played
He
for, but I
played for
also
the
know.
UCLA Bruins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
He was
And
and he was offered some stuff, but he wanted to concentrate on his academics.
there you go. Okay.
But
So
yeah, so that's really
these are
him doing that
that
little.
little
Yeah,
juke
he
and
was a
jive.
quarterback. Yeah.
Okay. So these are what I would think are quality wishes that a good teacher can do.
Yeah.
And then Chainsaw Dave absolutely exploit him because they want chauffeur service to and
To
from
and
work.
from school.
Yeah. They
Oh
want a
no, yeah, to and
party.
from work. Yeah.
Yeah. They want a party at his place on the beach, 4th of July weekend.
In Anna
Let's
Maria's honor.
In Anna Maria's honor. Let's not forget though that this party is filled with alcohol and fireworks, which he obviously knows. It's not like they're
Yeah.
hiding it from him,
Oh no,
you
not at
know.
all.
Yeah, and then what else? What else do we got that where he's like, oh Pam, Pam the surfer
Yeah.
wants to move in. She needs a place to stay. and she's clearly got a thing for him, but he's kind of oblivious to it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I don't think he's oblivious to it. I think and I really saw this time around too. When Kirstie Alley is talking to him and saying, "Look, you know that girl has a crush on you. You know that it's not just going to end. And when you if you let her stay here too long, and then you tell her she's got to go, he's like, you're going to kill her. You know,
yeah,
it's going to crush her, as opposed to just she didn't do the, oh no, you're sleeping with him. And they had this big argument. Like, she knew what was going on. I think she knew that he wouldn't be like, oh, I've got my student here and we're sleeping together.
yeah.
But I like how they did that, as opposed to her like storming off and like him doing the run, and then it starts raining and he's like, come back. And then he's got
No,
to do this big gesture at the end. I love that about this movie, that they
yeah, because
don't do that.
she kind of gives him a nasty look. He goes
Like,
outside and she's like, "Hey, this is none of my business, but what the hell's going on in there?"
mm-hmm.
You know, and it's innocent as far as Shoop is concerned, but yeah, Robin has to explain to him, like, you might think it's innocent, but she is looking at this a whole different way,
Mm-hmm.
and this is bad,
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, there's so many things that Shoop does that, even like with Chainsaw Dave, clearly they have a problem with alcohol.
Oh yeah. They shouldn't have took those baby steps.
Yeah. But and speaking of, like, they, he covers for him. He tells the police, like,
Yeah.
they're out there, they're drinking on the beach. He comes by roller skating, and he's like, "Oh, that's my stuff."
Yeah.
Dude, like, they would have got a slap on the wrist. They're minors. Like, he goes to jail for his students
That's right. And I like
on
how they
roller
bring up, she
skates.
goes, Kirstie brings up, she goes, he went to jail for his students.
Yeah. But again, in that courtroom scene, he's touted as a hero. Like, he went to jail for his students. Yeah, but he also didn't do anything about their alcohol abuse. He totally just,
Yeah, you kind of have to forget that part. That
I
he's like,
guess, because
yeah.
even when he's trying to give driving lessons, he's like, "Chainsaw, you've been drinking." At what point do you call Mr. Grimp and Mrs. Grimp and say, "Hey, your son has been under the influence.
No,
Get this kid some help."
you don't call Chainsaw's dad. That's the dad that beats up Henry Hill in Goodfellas. You don't want to call that guy. He'll end up just smacking you to death with a
Oh yeah,
belt.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's the father from Goodfellas.
Yeah. You don't call his father.
So
God,
you're saying,
in one ear, out the other. I tell dad, 3:00.
I almost forgot. We got a couple people behind the scenes aside from Carl Reiner. We should probably mention.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I got a little bit of on the background, but Jeff Franklin writes the script.
Mm-hmm.
Brad, he wrote one of our favorite films from the 1980s. You remember which one? You know which one I'm talking about?
I thought I saw it earlier, but I missed it. I forgot.
I'll do this anytime I can, any opportunity I get, Brad. I'm going to do this. Jeff Franklin actually wrote the screenplay for Just One of the Guys, which stars one of my favorite actors, William Zabka.
William Zabka.
Yeah, exactly. So you got a great screenwriter here. Definitely great, because this guy went on to become huge. He created Full House. Did you know that?
And he did a lot of TV, and that's what I think works in this movie, because with TV, when you throw out those, like we were saying before, those little dramatic moments, or supposed to be done, it's like they can't last too long, because you have to go to a laugh after that. They do that a lot in this movie. As soon as there's kind of a moment, you've got, like, David going, big guy. So it's like, as soon as there's a touching moment, that's what those television writers do. So this movie is very quick with that.
Okay. Let's talk about the music for a quick second. This does not sound like a Danny Elfman score at all to me.
No, it doesn't. And I saw that. I was like, okay, I guess it really didn't have a big score, but I mean, still very early on to his composing, film, score
he's
stuff.
Still,
but
he's still leading Oingo Boingo at this point, right?
I think so. Yeah.
This is 87. So
yeah.
All right. Um, we got that great song at the end when they're taking the test called it's a song called Mind Over Matter.
Okay.
Uh, Debbie Harry wrote it, or I'm sorry, I don't know that she wrote it, but I know that she performed it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. There's some legal issues. They couldn't clear it, but they
Okay.
love the song so much. Danny Elfman calls up his buddy Elizabeth Daily, who performs the song also, and they use the Elizabeth Daily. She goes on. She goes under the name E.G. Daily.
Okay.
You've heard her voice. She's done several. She's done songs for several movies. She did one for The Breakfast Club. She did one for oh, I can't remember. It slipped my head right now. The damn, what's
Wait, it's somewhere very close. Right now, you're right now you're cold.
uh,
You're on fire.
she did a song for The Breakfast Club. She did one for Better Off Dead. Ringing a bell to you?
Yeah, I almost feel like that's the song that's playing when they're dancing really hard in the library.
Yep,
Is
yep.
it? Okay,
I
okay,
believe
I
so.
thought so. It's got that kind of sound that is the exact same, kind of like feeling that you get with the
Hmm. And if you're wondering, like, have you seen her? Do you know her? You do. Let me put a face to the name for you, Brad. She played Dottie in Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, really?
Well, that's her, the cute
Oh,
little blonde.
okay.
Yeah, that works at the bike shop.
Oh,
That's Elizabeth Daily. She does the song, I guess, because Elfman had done the score for Pee Wee's Big Adventure,
okay. Yep.
and he knows, hey, we got to get a good singer to come in here, do this song, Mind Over Matter, because we can't have the Debbie Harry version.
Hmm.
She comes in, knocks it out of the park, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, too, I don't know what kind of legal trouble they have with this situation, because if you think back to the strip club scene where Larry, the one student that's always asleep, where Shoop finds him at
Yeah.
the strip club,
I have a question about
they're
that scene
playing a
when you're
Debbie
done.
Harry song. Okay, you know what? Save it for likes and dislikes, because I know that you and I have the same question.
Yeah,
I know
I
we
don't know
do.
if it's a like or dislike because it's kind of a mysterious question.
I'm put okay. I'm going to put it under
Okay, okay,
dislikes,
but we'll put it under that.
but yeah, but I think I know what you're talking about, and we'll definitely have to get to that. Um, but before we do, a couple things, before we discuss what we like and what we don't like, Brad. Let me give you a couple bits of information about this movie. Okay, how
Okay,
it came to be. So we talked about Dean Cameron playing Spicoli on Fast Times at
okay,
Ridgemont High, the TV show. So this is something that's crazy, I think. Carl Reiner is at Paramount. He's working on a film. I don't know which film. I could not find this information out,
hmm,
but apparently he was pretty deep into production on something or pre-production. Paramount shelves it, and you can't do this to Carl Reiner.
right,
He's Hollywood royalty at this point, right, Brad?
hmm,
So the Paramount brass basically say, "Hey, look, we'll give you your choice. You can direct any movie we have in development right now."
okay,
So he gets a copy of the Summer School screenplay from Jeff Franklin, absolutely loves it. He's laughing as he reads it and says, "This is what I want to do." The only problem, Brad, is that Paramount has already decided that Summer School is going to be made by Amy Heckerling.
okay,
This was going to, yeah, she was doing this. She was in production on this. They pulled her. She was doing a little bit of TV work for the Fast Times TV show.
hmm,
They pull her into this. So she's all set to go. She's going to direct Summer School. And Patrick Dempsey from what is it?
Can't buy me love and Grey's
Well,
Anatomy.
I know, yeah, yeah, Gray's. I know him as Ronald Miller
Yeah,
from Can't Buy Me Love, but yeah, Grey's Anatomy, where he plays one of the
yeah,
what is he, McDreamy or McSteamy? I
you're
never saw the
asking the
show, so
wrong person.
asking the wrong person. Okay, um, those of you listening out there, if you're big Grey's Anatomy fans, we apologize, and please feel free to correct us on social media. Let us know who Patrick Dempsey was on Grey's Anatomy, or who he is. Is the show even on still?
I don't know.
I'm asking the wrong guy. I'm asking the wrong guy. But look, here's the thing. Amy Heckerling has Patrick Dempsey lined up to play Chainsaw. So Carl Reiner comes in and says, I love the script. I'm doing this movie. I don't need that kid, though. I'll find my own. So Paramount gives Heckerling and Dempsey the boot,
Okay.
and Carl Reiner jumps in. Now, it's at this point that things start getting shaken up. So Dean Cameron comes in. He gets Chainsaw. And fun little thing here. Gary Riley, who's awesome. He's great in a lot. We saw him in a bunch of stuff in the 80s.
Yeah.
Would it surprise you to know that he went up against E.T.'s Henry Thomas
No,
for this role?
not surprising at all.
Yeah. Elliot himself was going to
Mhm.
be Dave, and until Rob Reiner, Carl Reiner's son, said, "Hey, I got this kid in Stand By Me. He's fantastic. You got to check him out." And then all of a sudden, Gary Riley is playing Dave.
Mhm.
So that's how this thing's coming together. Another weird twist. You kind of talked at the very beginning about Carl Reiner seeing the Ted Bundy movie and
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, Mark Harmon's the guy," right? And you said, "Yeah, we want to go with a comedic actor." The original conception of this film, it was a female teacher. They were kind of going for like that Wildcats vibe, like fish out of water.
Okay.
And Joan Rivers was going to play
Ah.
Shoop. Joan Rivers as Mrs. Shoop was going to get thrown into remedial English summer school. Can you even
Yeah.
imagine that movie? That does not sound like
I
a
don't
good
think I
movie.
want to.
I don't want to. I don't want to at all. I'm so, thank you, Carl Reiner, for watching a Ted Bundy TV movie because,
Yeah.
we almost got something really off the wall as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, and then I got two other fun facts for you, Brad.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll get on because I'm rambling on here. Um, Chainsaw and Dave, they have that great moment where they scare Shoop, gets booted temporarily.
Yeah.
Gills brings in the substitute, that
The classroom of psychopaths scene.
yes, yeah. So Chainsaw and Dave, they might not be lining up to be valedictorians anytime soon, but their ability to do special effects work is unbelievable. They should be working for K&B right now, right?
Well, I'd like to hope that, Chainsaw and Dave have a successful, makeup special effects, business in the future, because it's obvious where they're going to go and,
Yeah.
become. But I mean, yeah, I love that. But I
I
love that scene. That's
well,
probably it's such a great scene.
it is such a great scene, and I love that scene not because for two reasons. First off, they write a report on who what the topic is, who we admire most and why,
Yes.
and they give this fantastic report on makeup artist and creature creator Rick Baker. The fun thing here is that Rick Baker did uncredited work as a makeup artist on Summer School for that scene.
Really?
That is Rick Baker's special effects that we're looking
No
at in
wonder
that
it's so
scene.
good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Even like when they go on the field trip and they do the bunnies from hell thing. They come out with the rabbit stuck to their face and they're ripping them
Mhm.
off. He's like, oh,
I mean, yeah, it's really good makeup, and it's funny that they use stuff that, I mean, I had never heard of Rick Baker at that time, but it's like
yeah,
ever since this movie, every time I see Rick Baker's name, I'm like, creature and creator Rick Baker.
yeah, yeah. He wins the Academy Award for An American
Yeah,
Werewolf in London. We know
and
that
all the
because of
stuff they say
Chainsaw
is
Dave.
true.
Yeah, it's very true. It was a good report. It was a very
Yeah,
good report. Very, 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 very,
very,
very,
very.
very, very, very good report. One other fun fact for you, Brad. If you are wondering about the school, the high school,
Mm-hmm.
and why it looks so familiar,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you why. This is the same high school that you saw them use in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge.
Yeah.
And more importantly, it is the same
Yep.
it
There
is
we
the
go.
same high school that they used in The Karate Kid, a movie about an all-American student named John Lawrence, played brilliantly by William Zabka. All about his his troubles and trials and tribulations his senior year, dealing with a threat, if you will.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
that's two in here.
Two, Brad, come on. Two William Zabka, you
Yeah.
know, yeah.
But funny
Two,
thing about that Rick Baker makeup effect scene is that Carl Reiner was cool enough to shoot that on October 31st. So all
what?
the actors could go out that night of Halloween parties. So they were
Oh,
able to
that's
keep
awesome.
all that stuff on and they got to go out later that night. That's how
That
cool he
is
was.
that is so cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you know, think about this. Carl Reiner is 65 years old when he's directing this,
Yeah.
and this is one of those 80s teen comedies. So for him to, I gotta believe that he was probably providing like a fun dad type
Yeah.
atmosphere instead of being like the boss. He was probably like,
Yeah.
dad's gonna let us do the makeup thing tonight.
Yeah.
I see him being probably. I bet he was probably very protective of these kids,
Mm-hmm.
on set and when they're
Yeah.
trying to get them going. Let's talk about some of what do you like about this movie, Brad? What I know there's got to be a lot, but if you had to narrow it down to a couple scenes, what do you really like about this movie?
I think it has a lot of good scenes. It is just really well done. I can't describe it. It's like there's not really too many slow parts. There's not really any slow part at all. Even the kind of the connection between Kirstie Alley and Mark Harmon, it's very brief when they do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot, but it's so I think I like that. It kind of just like flips to funny scene to funny scene. I mean, even just like a scene of him walking to Lamaze class with her
Yeah,
and the fact that he's carrying box of chocolate Pop Tarts, that he carries these things with him. And I'm just like noticing, I'm just like, in every scene, there's always a little something, even if it doesn't seem that funny, that I think is funny. And just like that, I'm like, who would take chocolate Pop Tarts? He would. Mr. Shoop would. And he's eating those chocolate Pop Tarts like crazy in this movie.
yeah. Well, what's Brad? If you got to help figure out a lesson plan, are you going with chocolate Pop Tarts or are you going with the Chocodiles?
I don't know. Well, I mean, or the peanut butter with the jam on it, and that's the thing.
That
He's doing a scene where he's looking at the sunset and he's thinking about girls and why he doesn't have Robin, but he also doesn't have Kim. But the scene is hilarious because he keeps letting the dog lick his finger and he puts it
she's
right in his
sharing.
mouth.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
sharing
that's
with Wonder
yeah.
Mutt.
So that's what I like about the movie. There's always comedic elements in there that work with the scene. So you're not dying of laughter missing the scene, you're giggling.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Wonder Mutt, by the way,
Yes,
because
Wonder Mutt is
one
great.
of one of the greatest movie dogs of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I dig the fact that Shoop does not give his dog a name like Rocky or Spike
Yeah,
or whatever. He gives him a superhero name. He is Wonder
Wonder
Mutt.
Mutt. Yes.
I love it. All right, but again, Brad, favorite scene. You talked about a lot about what you like about it, but if you had to give me a favorite scene, what
I
are you going
think
for?
it is the classroom of psychopaths.
It's like you said, Gills, we're psychopaths.
Yeah. And because Gil is just sitting there, like smirking the entire time, and the woman is going just
that
nuts. And
that
it just,
poor teacher is
yes,
screaming at what she's
coming
seeing.
from grammar school. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think that one is my favorite scene. But there's many good scenes, like I said, him taking credit for the vodka thing, for the kids and just their whole banter between each other is some of my favorite scenes, the Chainsaw and Dave scenes. And of course, when they screen Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the room, because I love that movie so much. And every time I watch Texas Massacre, I still think of summer school. Just when I think of summer school, I think of Texas Massacre. What do you like? And what is the best scene according to you?
Uh, I'll tell you right now, anything with chains that involves Chainsaw and Dave
Mm-hmm.
is probably at the top of my list. If I had to go one scene as my favorite scene, it's definitely the screening of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in class for two reasons. One,
Mm-hmm.
it's just awesome, and like you said, I can't watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre without thinking about summer school. Now they're ingrained. They go hand in hand now.
Mm-hmm.
But I also dig the fact that it's also a win for Shoop because he's teaching him what can happen if you can write a solid letter to a company that you feel is
Yeah.
kind of ripped you off. So you get the cool dude sunglasses, they
Hmm.
show up. So it's like a teaching moment. It's a win for Shoop. It's a win for Chainsaw Day because they're watching
Yeah.
TCM in class. I love their banter as it's going on.
Yes, their
That, hey,
banter's great.
excuse me, this isn't going to hurt him because he's insane.
Yes. And
So
the fact that it's also a win because the entire class has to do a report on it. That's
yeah, write a
the
review of the
Knights of
Texas
write a
Chainsaw
review of the
Massacre.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like that's
Best
great.
homework assignment ever.
Yes.
Has to be. Is there something that doesn't work for you? Like when you watch this now, is there a scene where you're like, I don't like it? Or, I know we talked about, let's talk about the confusing scene before we talk about dislikes. Cause I wouldn't say it's a dislike, but it is a confusing. You want to talk about
So
that real quick?
so the scene right before this is the scene of him and Shoop and Wondermud looking at the sunset, talking about women, and he says, "We need a woman that understands us," and I with intellect. So he shows up at a male strip club. So I guess my
Yeah.
question, and he says to one of the women, "I'm from Playgirl magazine, and I want to interview." So is he thinking go to a male strip club and ask a bunch of women things they like? Then I'll work on myself on that. Is that what he's doing? So really, why is he there?
I've always thought that there's like a scene missing
Yeah,
because he's not going there. Like a lot of people assume like he's going there to check up on Larry, the kid that's always asleep.
right.
But he's
He
shocked to
doesn't
find
know.
Larry
Yeah,
there. He's like, Larry. So he's not there for Larry. He's there. He willingly goes to a male
yeah,
strip club. I you know I think maybe you have the best theory that I've heard now. Because I never put that together. He's on the beach, he's trying to figure out like, how does he find the girl that he needs to settle down with. So maybe you're right. Maybe he goes to a strip club to talk to women and find out what it doesn't
or
work
he thinks
still.
girls that will think like fun like him would be at a male strip club.
But
So
here's the
maybe
other thing.
yeah,
He's also wearing a suit. He wears a suit
yeah,
like three times in the movie. He goes to court. The one time he shows up to school and he's like, because he wants to be the serious teacher.
hmm,
He's wearing a suit.
yeah,
So I don't know. The scene is confusing. I understand you need it so that he can find out that
yeah,
Larry is
yeah. I
is
think there's a
stripping.
missing scene.
And again, when we talk about Shoop's morals, you just found out that your underage student is stripping for money. And even when he tries to do the right thing, and Larry is like, "Hey, man, if you think about when you were 17, if you
Yeah,
knew then," and he's like, "Yeah, you're right." He's like, "Well, I know." So it's kind of like it's like he's still like, is it like the next step, the phone call to Larry's mother? I just don't
no,
get some of his
no,
choices,
because I
man.
think the next question would be, what were you doing
What
there?
were you doing there? I don't know, Brad. What this is a confusing scene. I would even probably call it one of the scenes I dislike. But anything that you dislike, anything that doesn't work for you in this movie?
Um, no, not so much really. I mean, I think it goes for as long as it needs to go. It's not too long. It's not too short either. Um, I think the elements work in it. Yeah, obviously you can't have a party with high school students drinking, at your house and stuff.
Setting
But
your couch on fire.
yeah, but some of the stuff you have to just kind of go with it with a grain of salt. But I still think the movie is a lot of fun, and I feel like when the movie wraps up, it wraps up. I like the scene of them saying that, they did improve. It is like, no, they didn't have a percentage before, but you had like a 13 and now you got like a 65. So I like that. So there's a lot of things that work really well in it.
I'll give you that scene because yeah, the improvement overall is there,
Mm-hmm.
but I also don't get like the one like Denise, zero test scores because you've always ditched them, but 38, and they're like, that's terrific.
But she's also dyslexic.
Okay, oh yeah, you know what? I didn't remember that, and now that I do, okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
It is terrific. Then all right,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I as far as likes and dislikes, I'll paraphrase Dave and and say I love this film. It has passion and a plucky spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one scene where if anyone's going to complain, it's probably going to be the 12-year-old Jeff Johnson. First time seeing this, you go to the beach, Anna Maria,
Yep.
and then the moment of truth, she's about to take her top off, and Denise like, "Whoa, this ain't the Riviera," and stops her, and Chainsaw and Dave are like, that was cruel.
Yeah.
That was, Dave's like he's like jumbling, he's like mumbling, he's incoherent.
Yeah.
Did you? So here's something crazy. Did you know that they filmed like Reiner was all for like ad libbing. He wanted the kids to express themselves and try
Mm-hmm.
some different stuff. There's a deleted scene where she does take her top off, runs into the ocean. Chainsaw and Dave run after her and
Mm-hmm.
ask her to marry them. And Dean Cameron, who plays Chainsaw, said, he's talking about this like in retrospect. He's like, it's funny that day on set we had more quote unquote set visits from
I bet.
executives than ever before. Like
Mm-hmm.
they showed up in mass. Like
Of course.
yeah. Look, I'm not gonna not gonna hold it against them, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just I don't know. This movie's fantastic overall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Brad, let's talk about the guy behind it though. Let's talk about Carl Reiner for a little bit.
Well, Carl Reiner is an icon. Him, Mel Brooks. I mean, this is the guy. He created the Dick Van Dyke Show, and introduced us to people like Mary Tyler Moore and the 2,000-year-old man with Mel Brooks. I've never heard it, but apparently it is hilarious. This is something that I would like to do is hear some of these Mel Brooks, Carl Reiner like collaborations because they were best friends up until the end. There's a Mel Brooks documentary on HBO Max, and he would just call Mel Brooks would just call up Carl Reiner, and they'd go to their house in their like 90s and just eat pasta and watch movies. They would
That's
still
awesome.
do that at their old age. And that 2,000-year-old man earned a Grammy nomination. I mean, it basically like sparked his career. Now, what he said about Mel Brooks, he said, I always knew if I threw a question to Mel, he could come up with something. I learned a long time ago that if you can corner a genius, comedy brain, and panic, you're going to get something extraordinary. So I think that's a great quote. I mean, it was one of the writers on your show of shows. I mean, this is like all like even like maybe our parents' time,
Yeah.
or like very early time. I mean, he served in the United States Army in 42. So
Oh
I mean, he was
wow.
So I mean, he was a part of like I think communications,
Mm-hmm.
like some of the performing arts thing. He was inducted to the Television Hall of Fame in '99. Got the Mark Twain Prize for comedy by the Kennedy Center Performing Arts. He did basically gave Steve Martin that film career post
He
Saturday Night
created
Live.
he
Yeah,
created Steve Martin, the
yeah,
movie star. I
yeah, man.
think.
So it was like The Jerk, The Man with Two Brains, All of Me, and Don't Wear Plaid. Which is funny because now I want to watch all of these, and I've only seen The Jerk, and it's been a long time since I've seen The Jerk, so it's very foggy to me.
Okay. Well, this guy has such a long,
Mm-hmm.
prestigious list of credits.
Yeah,
Let's just zero in on a couple. So, first film production, he works with George Burns
yeah,
on 1977's Oh God.
yeah.
Did you ever see those movies
Which
where
I
George
feel like,
Burns plays
which
like
I feel like I've seen, but I can't tell you anything about them. But I feel like I watched them at a young age. I can't remember anything about them.
we watched them when we were little kids
Yeah,
on like Showtime, but you're right. I need to go back and review them
right.
again because they did a couple of those.
Yeah,
We need to go back. 1978, a year later, he's working with Henry Winkler, the Fonz,
yeah.
on the one and only. I haven't seen it. Well, and then that leads us. You kind of highlighted this already. 1979 to 1984 is the Steve Martin era.
Mm-hmm.
So we get The Jerk in 1979, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid in 1982, The Man with Two Brains in 1983, All of Me in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen all of them. I love all of them. How about
Oh,
you?
really?
Yeah.
I've only seen The Jerk. I haven't seen
Oh
those other
man,
ones.
The Man with Two Brains is hilarious. That's the
Mhm.
one, and I bet you've seen it. You just don't remember it.
Probably
That's
watch around the
where
time I
that's where
watched
the
Oh God.
yeah, but it's where he has the brain that can talk to him. He's a surgeon, and the brain is the voice of the brain is Kathleen Turner,
I'll have to go back
and
and
he's
see
kind of
this
falling
again.
for her. Yeah, it's fantastic. All of Me is where he works with Lily Tomlin, where she gets trapped in his body. It's not like a body swap movie, like a
Yeah.
silly body swap movie. It's just like they're in, she's in him.
Oh,
Um,
so that's not silly at all. It's not a silly body swap movie. It's not
it's not
silly at
as
all.
silly as
She's just
yeah,
inside him.
yeah,
She's just like
uh, yeah. All right. Well, look, he definitely without Carl Reiner, we don't get Steve Martin, the movie
no.
star, which is a terrifying concept when you think about the amazing body of work that Steve Martin has given us
Mm-hmm.
and what he's giving us right now. Because he went,
Yeah.
he's back on television with Only Murders in the Building,
Yeah.
which is one of the best shows on television
Oh
on
yeah.
Hulu.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Then 1985, he pairs up with John Candy,
Mm-hmm.
Richard Crenna, Summer Rental.
Mm-hmm. Poor,
Thought
poor John Candy in that movie. Poor guy. He just can't catch a break in that movie.
Renter.
Yes.
Summer Rental was one of those movies. I watched it all the time when I was a little kid. I don't even know
Mm-hmm.
why. It was well, I do know why, because it was hilarious. It was funny. John Candy was funny in this movie. Great supporting cast. It's ridiculous. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a little confusing too, because Colonel Troutman's playing a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's a jerk, and that doesn't sit well with me. Not at all, man. Uh, but yeah, Summer Rental 85, and then we're
Mm-hmm.
talking Summer School in 87. This is for me. This is kind of where I lose track of Carl Reiner,
Yeah.
because I know he did like what, three, maybe four more movies after Summer Rental.
Yeah.
I can't tell you that I've seen him though, man. How about you?
I mean,
Let's.
a few of those like kind of snuck in on just like watch whatever comes on cable, like things like I remember that movie Sibling Rivalry. It
That was,
wasn't bad.
well, yeah, Christy Alley,
Yeah,
because he did that one shortly after this one, right?
yeah, it wasn't
I
bad.
think
I never saw the I guess it would have been the spoof Basic Instinct called Fatal Instinct.
I saw that,
I
and
I,
it's
I
not good.
yeah, it didn't look good. I just remember seeing copies of That Old Feeling, just putting it away, and I'm feeling like no one's gonna buy this except maybe our parents.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. To be fair,
yeah,
it probably wasn't.
it's
We were
probably
not.
it's
We're,
probably good
it's
now. Probably we
it's
watch it
probably
now. It's
good.
probably great. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
to be fair, that was not made for us at that
yeah,
time.
but
And we probably would like it now.
yeah,
You
and I'd
know,
say the most recognized of Carl Reiner, things is probably the Ocean's films. Have him playing Saw in all three Ocean's films.
yeah. Well, so That Old Feeling, that was 1997,
Mm-hmm.
and the first Ocean's movie was what, 2000 maybe
2001. Yeah,
2001.
2001.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So I kind of feel like he, after That Old Feeling, he was like, okay, I've done what I needed to do. Now I'm just gonna get in front of the camera, back in front of the camera, and
Yeah.
have some fun, because I love his performance
Yeah. And he's great
in
in
Oceans.
all three of them.
Yeah, he is. He is so good in that. Absolutely love it. This is a guy, Brad. He did it all for us.
Mm-hmm.
Actor, director, producer. And when you think
Ryder.
about writer, and when you think about how much he's connected to so many projects, like the
Mm-hmm.
6 Degrees scenario, there's so much we would have missed out on if we
Yeah.
did not have Carl Reiner.
Yeah.
For one thing, like with no Carl Reiner, there's no Rob Reiner. He
Right.
created Rob Reiner,
Mm-hmm.
and I know we're going to talk about him here in the next couple of weeks, but
Yeah.
just a fantastic, fantastic director.
Mm-hmm.
I know we recently lost him. What?
Yeah. In 2020.
2020, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just an amazing, amazing life, amazing actor. Brad, let me ask you: do you have a favorite Carl Reiner film? What would be your favorite out of his body of work?
Okay. I'm saying this based upon that I've only seen one of those out of 4 Steve Martin movies, but
Yeah.
I think it is this film, Summer School. It still made me laugh a lot. My son was trying to sleep, so I had to hold in a lot of my laughs.
Had to stifle
It
the
was
laughter a little bit.
really tough. And I'm like, you can just kind of laugh inside your head on certain parts. I just had to kind of let it out the best I could. So I mean, like I said, I really like this movie. You know, it's just a personal fun. I know you like it. Yeah, we've watched it and quoted it quite a bit, you know, and still do, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Think about this. It's so quotable,
mhm.
not just, not just the Chainsaw Dave stuff. There's a lot of, I love Denise. Like, what can I say? This whole class is jammed with ignorance. And
Yeah,
yes, it is.
yes.
uh,
I mean, just even things like I want to use the word vomice in something, you know. I'm like, this is vomice. Thank you.
yeah, devilishly clever. Moments. Yeah, there's so many moments. I could watch this.
Mhm.
This movie holds up.
Yeah.
Obviously, um, I love it. I would have to say, again, I didn't see some of his later films like
Mhm.
That Old Feeling, but even going up against the Steve Martin block that he
Yeah.
did, I'm picking Summer School
Yeah.
as my favorite Carl Reiner film.
Mhm. You know, he'd be a good director to dig back into, you know,
I
kind of
agree.
revisit something. It'd be fun.
I agree. So, goes without saying, we recommend this, right?
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
where did you? I've got a copy. I got a DVD copy. I would love to see a Blu-ray, like with special edition, deleted
Mhm.
scenes, commentary, but
That
we'll wait.
yeah, especially the deleted scene between the beach and the strip club. We would love to
Well,
see that.
I'll tell you. I shouldn't say this, but until that deleted scene shows up, Brad, if you ever see a movie called Diplomatic Immunity,
Yes.
starring Fabiano Udinio, well, I'll just leave it at that. Just
Well, you
go
know,
down that rabbit hole if you.
she's a lot of vagina.
That's right. Yeah, Austin
She's a
Powers.
lot of vagina. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. For the Anna Maria Mazzarelli fans that
Hmm.
want to see more of her work or just more of her,
Hmm.
Diplomatic Immunity. That's your go-to there, Brad.
Hmm.
So where did you see this though? Is this
I saw it
streaming?
is on Showtime anytime. So if you have Showtime, you can watch this on demand on anytime.
Okay.
And I'm
All
sure
right.
you can rent it on Prime for like $2.99.
Anything else you want to say before we do the close?
Oh, come on, man. We just had a fire, you know, it was getting good.
Good night.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, well, that's going to do it for us this time. I feel like we have talked about a teacher. We talked about school movie,
Yep.
school themed movie, a teacher that everybody loves that maybe isn't a good teacher. I think that's
Hmm.
fair. So it's
True.
only fitting. It's only fitting that next week on our limited series 1986, we talk about a student that everybody loves,
The Student.
the student, but maybe is not a good student. I think that's fair, right?
So not John Bender.
No, we are
Ah.
not talking. Yeah, we're not talking about the Breakfast Club. This is 1986, man. So
Oh, that's right.
join us next week because we'll get the gang together and we'll be talking about none other than Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Until then, you can always get a hold of us, www.afilmbypodcast.com. We are streaming on all your favorite platforms. Give us a like, give us a review, subscribe, share, rate, all that good stuff, right, Brad?
That's right. And
And
remember, one more thing. I'm Chainsaw,
I'm Jeff
and we'll see you at the
at the
movie.
movies.